We're live. We're live, Texas Mom.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, all one person that's on right now. we we wanted to make a video, but Goob's running out of storage, so we decide we just jump on and do this live with my recent travels. Got back home safe and sound, but it reminded me, going home reminded me of something, and the timing was impeccable. And I said, you know what? I want to do a video about this. Great Dragon. And what we'll do is I'll tell our story about this part of the point I want to make. This way I don't get all ADD rabbit trail on everybody. So we'll save the hellos and goodbyes till the end. And if you want to ask questions in caps, we could potentially, depending on how everybody's doing, if we have time, we'll try to get to that too.
Right. Most people will be just watching this as a playback.
Yeah, most people will be watching this as a playback because there was like no notice and it was last second. Right, Mr. Toot Toot? So, when I went home, in light of the current events, it jarred my memory about one of the defining moments in our married life when we exclusively decided we are going to move. And it was a minimum of 10 years ago. So we relocated 6 years ago now, but it was a minimum of 10 years ago. And we were in a homeschool group with some friends that got us interested in prepping and all that stuff. And so we were kind of dipping our toe into the whole prepping gig, and something happened, and it was called the Derecho. And I just found out today from a very good bilingual friend that Derecho means straight, but what it was straight line winds that occurred in our area, in our county. And what happened is that it knocked our power out for about 8 days. It knocked a lot of people's power out for about 8 days. And we were prepared for it, and there was no problems. And I was, it happened on a Friday night, and I was working a job that Saturday morning, and one of the guys that worked for me, for any of you that are employers, many times you think that your employees are just like your children, because in many ways they are. But my main job foreman got to the job, which really wasn't that far from our house, and he's like, I don't have any gas in my van. So while I get started, do you think you could go get me some gas? Because I'm like 5, but somehow I have a driver's license. Okay, so I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll get you gas. So me and one of my other employees started down the road. I'm like, man, how hard is this going to be? I'm going to go get him 5 gallons of gas in a gas can. And we started down the road with a concrete median. And it was a major, major road. And we drove and we drove and we drove, and the power was out. So obviously at every gas station where the power was out, they couldn't pump gas. So we drove probably 7, 8 miles. And we came to the first gas station with power.
It's really far. It's really far when you're up north.
Yeah, up north 7 miles is very far. Down here 7 miles like gets us out to the main road.
7 miles, you're star neighbor.
Yeah. So we get to this first gas station that actually has power, and it's like stinking apocalypse now there. Everybody is going nuts. Everybody is losing their mind. Everybody is acting out of control. They're acting ignorant. They're cursing. People are brandishing guns and knives. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not embellishing it. And I got the gas. So here's the craziest part about the story. Texas Mom will be back. The craziest part about the story is, because of this concrete median, we had to pull out of the gas station. Uh, you where I was not. I had no firearms on me because it was a boo boo in that state. You know, in that state you're only allowed to have weapons if you're a bad guy. You know, so the thugs are the ones that brandish the guns. Okay, and so I was not. I did not have a firearm on me. Unlike now, it's much different, but which is another part of the story. But I had to pull out and go further down the road to hit the U-turn to turn around. So we pull out of the gas station. Well, we start driving to get to the a blank in the concrete median to turn around, and we happen to pass the next gas station. And at the next gas station, there was two cars at the next gas station, and everything was honky dory and normal. And I'm getting ready to turn around. I'm like, hold on a second, man. I said, yo, dude, I'm gonna go up to the next gas station. So I keep on driving. It's like it's like I drove 8 miles, and between 7 miles and 8 miles was like a different planet. And everything's normal, and everybody's happy,
Right.
whatever that means up there. And so I was like, wow, this is like incredibly, it was disturbing to me. I'm like, so a little bit of a small power outage, a couple thousand people lose power for like 8 days. And this was the first day.
That was before Superstorm Sandy.
Oh, yes, yeah. This was like 10 years ago.
Right.
So
Superstorm Sandy was another big eye
a
opener
big event,
for
yeah,
us,
yeah.
for us, you know. Yeah, but I won't jump ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, so we do the job. I get home, and I'm like, babe, we need to highly consider about getting the heck out of here, because people as a whole, okay, there are some very nice people there. My current family,
Oh,
obviously,
right.
we love our family, okay, and I feel bad for them that they are in prison there. But anyway, I'm like, we really need to consider like not being here anymore. And that was 10 years ago. And that was when we were like, well, if we weren't here, where would we be? You know? And it's kind of funny the way it kind of played out. You know, I don't know if any of y'all watched Justin Rhodes and ever heard Justin Rhodes' story about the Great American Farm Tour, but he asked Rebecca, he said, what would you do if you wasn't afraid? And that was basically, in a nutshell, what we said to each other. Well, if we could go anywhere, you know, where would we go? And as any of you that have listened to our story, you know, we considered expatriating to Belize, and we started doing a lot of research about homeschool laws, Second Amendment, all that stuff. And ultimately, we ended up here. And not only did we end up here, you know, we wanted to do this homestead, self-sufficient lifestyle. We wanted to create community. We wanted to be part of community. We wanted to do all that stuff. And it was like a triple. It's really kind of incredible because this weekend, while I was away, like before I left, with what was starting to build, you know, it was and some people said, why in the world did you travel? Well, my dad is very ill. It was his 80th birthday.
Pretty much everything that they tell you not to do is what he was doing.
But I booked it
traveling, going to a birthday party, picking up food.
Yeah. I booked it way in advance. My dad and my mom are both super high risk. I mean,
Yes.
and they weren't concerned. They're ready to die. They're certainly not suicidal or trying to kill themselves or anything like that. I don't want to paint it like that. But my dad was very. My mom said to me later, she was like, "Well, I'm glad he's going to be here because Dad might not make it or whatever."
Yeah.
So, and that's the way my dad's been for a while now, and but my mom's very optimistic, and I appreciate that, and I love her, and she is my dad's full-time caregiver, and she does a great job. Um, but you know, before I left, it was just like, this is why we did this. Like, this is why we decided to do this for this type of scenario, whatever that is. And whether, people want to get all conspiratorial, and hey man, I'm the biggest tinfoil guy there is, but like, this is just like a flu. I mean, this could very, all conspiracies aside, what if this was just a flu strain, basically, and that's basically what it is, and it's not even a bad flu strain. And that doesn't, and here's the other thing, that doesn't mean that good people aren't going to die. That kind of stuff happens. My mom, my dad are both high risk. They could very realistically die from this. I mean, it's highly possible, you know, depending on if this thing hockey sticks or whatever. And that is a reality of life. I mean, you know, we take so much risk every day when we get an automobile. I mean, last week, I don't know if I even told Texas Mom this about the head-on collision I almost got into that was totally like random, and it was weird, and I don't even know how it happened. And it was the Lord protected me. And somebody was in the truck with me, and they were like, "Where did that car come from?" And I locked her up, and it was crazy, and it was divine protection. But okay, I don't want to get off track, but so as I was leaving, I was like, this is why we did this. So I go home and I'm experiencing the culture, and I'm getting to hang out with my parents and my family, and I love them,
and your friends
and my friends. And I'm sorry, brother Paul. Sorry, brother Paul. I left you hanging, bro. I had a small window, and then I was expecting meat chickens. Meat chickens let me down. And I know Meat Chickens would be very upset I didn't let them know we were going live, but that was probably on purpose. Okay.
You're always off track.
I'm trying here. I'm trying to focus. Okay. So I get up there, and it's, this is the house I grew up in. It's the house my parents still live in. And it's weird. Was literally sleeping in my old bedroom. And it's kind of bizarre how when you've lived somewhere for 20 years and you fall asleep like twice, like that third day, it was almost surreal. Like, wow, this is like, it's like I just went back in time, and I've always been here, except, my parents are a lot older. You go downstairs and you're like shocked back to reality or whatever. But, all that being said, it reminded me of this straight line winds event. And I'm like, wait a minute. That was the catalyst that spurred us to even consider moving in the first place, because we love our families, and we have very, very close families, and we want to support our families and be that infrastructure, just like the infrastructure and the legacy that we want to create now. We want our boys to stick around, hang around. We don't want them to ditch and move thousands of miles away. And if they decide to do that, that's absolutely their prerogative, and that'll be great. As of right now, they all want to stay here, and that's awesome too. And I want to provide them with a legacy and an infrastructure to do that, and the means and all that. And that's the way it used to be. But it reminded me of this event, and this event was just a very minor,
right. It's just 8 days.
Yeah, much more minor than this event,
right.
and much of this event has been sensationalized so far.
Right.
I'm not saying that it won't get worse, and it can't get worse. My opinion is it probably won't. And if you look at the Italy numbers, it's already curtailing. So, and that doesn't mean that a lot of people have died in Italy, because they have. Still far less worse than the flu. And everybody that is majorly adversely affected are all high risk. So it was so interesting having all these, like, getting re-immersed into the previous culture that we moved from, and getting like almost like time machine back in time. And then it reminded me of this event, and then it just reinforced, like, because when you're far away from your parents and you only get to see them like maybe once a year, and they're in ill health, in your head you're always like, man, I should be there more for them. Unfortunately, the rest of my family, just the support is not really, you know as much as I would think that it should be or whatever. And they watch our videos. I don't want to. I'm not. Everybody's got their own life and stuff they got to deal with. Um, and I'm like, my mom always thanks me for coming, and you've been such a big help, and all this stuff. And my poor mom. My mom's 80 as well, and she's not getting any younger, and she has like she gets pneumonia every year and has respiratory issues, and she gets like knocked out like every year. One year she got pleurisy, probably like 8 years ago, and just every winter she struggles. She catches something and she just and she got it again this year, and she's just scratching and clawing. And so as a son and as someone that dearly loves and appreciates their parents, you're always questioning, like, man, we moved 2,000 miles away, and did I ditch my parents, and all this stuff. But then I go back, and just all this reinforcement of the fact that we did the right thing, and now we are here, we are settled, we are prepared. The Lord restored us. We have major infrastructure. We have cherries on the cherry tree, y'all. And you're not supposed to get cherries in the first 5 years on the cherry tree. And I have Mondo cherries, and I've gotten blossoms the last 3 years.
So there was a derecho, and that was
Derecho.
just a big wake up call that we were already prepping, and we were just like, okay, so we're doing all this prepping stuff. We had chickens, we had goats back then. Our church opened up their doors and started letting whoever wanted to just come to the church and get water at that time. So I was carrying big buckets of water, putting them in the van, I think, at that time, taking them back home so we could have water for the goats. It was like...
Yeah, we were watering animals.
Yeah,
like,
and it was like, I don't know, really hot that week too. It was like close
yeah, it was
to,
crazy. We had all the doors and windows open.
close to like 100 degrees. So it was just a lot of craziness. We were milking goats. Didn't have power. Anyway, yeah, so we had all that going on, and we were just like, is this where we want to be if something bad happens, even temporarily if something bad happens? This is like, we were doing all these preparations and a little bit of homesteading, in our little side yard, and then just that reality hit. And then not long after that, I guess.
And I liken it to like one of these doomsday prepper episodes where you have like the guy that's in the 18th floor of the high rise, and he's like showing you how he's going to bug in and how he's going to prep being in the concrete jungle like 18 stories in the air. And I'm just like, bro, no, you're sorry, bro. Like, you're beat. Like, you don't even have a puncher's chance of a fluke, nothing.
Right.
Like, so your whole thing is like, you're doing all this stuff and you're spending all this money and you're trying to do this stuff, but you're trying to force it into an artificial infrastructure that doesn't even work currently, let alone in a pandemic, false flag, fear mongering, whatever.
Right. So then Superstorm Sandy came, and that was a big eye opener as well, because people were getting robbed, their homes, people were just going and looting, and it was a free for all. It was a total free for all, and yeah, that was more just handwriting on the wall for us, that we were just like,
just reinforce the fact, yeah, let's get out of here.
We're not in the right place. If something bad happens, we're just not in a good place to be.
And the beauty of that is, because of Superstorm Sandy, the Lord allowed us, I did very, very well, and we cashed in. And that's when we couldn't sell the house, and I said, look, had a great year. Let's ditch everything. Let's ditch the trucks, the business, the house. We're ditching everything because if something goes sideways, we already saw what was going to happen.
Right.
We knew, we saw the handwriting on the wall, and and when I went back, now 6 years later, and I saw just, and I wasn't even expecting the entire county to go down the crapper, which it did. I mean, it is just deplorable.
Well, society as a whole.
Yeah, the
just,
society has went down the crapper.
Society just, the last year we were up there, you just went to your local little grocery store and stuff, and I didn't feel comfortable anymore. I was just like, I'm a fish out of water. Like, this is not a comfortable place that I even want to be anymore, and that was just like 2 minutes up the road. Like, that wasn't, so you can tell when you just stick out like a sore thumb and you just don't fit anymore, and it's just weird all around you. And that's not how we are down here.
Ruh-roh.
I better go. But yeah, being in the country is the best place to be. We're not super duper remote where we are, but we have enough.
Remote enough for now.
Right.
I mean, and I think we're remote enough. I mean, we're remote as you can get and still live a non-isolated life. Because the point is to not live an isolated life. We want community, and we want to develop our community, and we want to be part of our community. We want to invest in our community. We want to participate in our community.
Right.
We want to help our community. So, if you're in and we got invited to a prepper homestead in West Texas in the middle of nowhere, and this guy had like commercial generators. I mean, this guy was, and with that whole Ebola scare, he was like, y'all need to move out here, and it's all going down.
Yeah. We've
and
never been really interested in that. I mean,
yeah, I'm like not interested.
I see people even around here now. There are numbers of people.
They're bug out convoys rolling down here.
They're bugging out. They're leaving. They're leaving everything, and I just don't really see the need for it. Where we're at, we have a good sense of community. People look out for each other. We need each other. I wouldn't want to leave my community that we're in to just be in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I think we're in a good place. We got everything that we need for a little while. Not forever, but we have what we need to.
The point is you're never going to have everything that you need forever.
Right.
And that is why you need community.
Right.
That's why you need fellowship, and that's why you need friends, and that's why you need not just infrastructure, why you need barter.
Right.
I mean, the point is to not isolate.
No.
And there's people that do it in Alaska, and there's people that do it in these mostly remote, colder regions, and we just both are just super not interested, in that whole thing. And my brother and sister-in-law that were at my dad's party was talking about moving to Idaho, and I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm just not interested in the cold. I'm not interested in 7 months of like. And they have a camp in Maine, which is totally weird because in Maine, you're snowed into your camp and you're either getting in and out by snowmobile. And the people that dig that, that's awesome. But like, it's just, we chose our location because longer growing season, don't want to deal with the cold.
And I feel like there's just a piece about where we are and everything. Like, when something big like this is happening all around you, if we have to be at home for a little while, we're good. Like, I feel like it's a peaceful thing. Like, I didn't have that feeling before when we were up north. I feel like we were more like Survivor, like snowed in, like, okay, let's see all the things that we have to do to kind of like distract ourselves. Here, we can just live our normal life.
I want, I got my gopher baskets. I have like 100 trees to plant. I got extra drip irrigation to put in. I would love for a 2-week quarantine. I'll get so much stuff done. We have our cash reserves, and look, I realize not everybody has that, and not everybody, it's very strange because when you're sharing your story, like, oh, I want to do that, but I can't, and like sometimes people get like mad or whatever. I'm like, hey, look, nobody's trying to, first off, we don't even know your scenario, and nobody's trying to like pee on your parade or anything, and you can't do it all at once. Everybody, 6 years ago, we had just gotten here, and it would have been, if this happened 6 years ago, it'd be very different than it is right now.
A flashlight.
We didn't have
anything.
We didn't have a pot to pee in, a window to throw it out
of.
of.
An ice storm came like a week after we moved here, and thank the Lord.
It was the
for some
craziest.
Because we didn't have anything.
We moved here, and within 3 days, Northeast Texas, within 3 days, we got 3 to 4 inches of ice, and most of the stuff I had was in my truck. Well, my truck got iced over. I couldn't even get in and out of it. The power went out. All the power lines went down.
We had nothing.
It was nuts. We were so full-blown exposed. And talking about, you drag your family 2,000 miles, right? And you like uproot, and you have nothing, and you have no prospects, and you don't know anybody, and you get into this little farm rental house, and now you don't even have electricity, heat, you're frozen in. We did have our Home Depot buckets, but we had nowhere to prepare. It was nuts. Mm-hmm. And that was our first full week in Texas.
Right. So.
And it was the exact opposite of everything.
It was a blessing that we had.
But we had our
neighbors.
We had a great landlord, and he came and got us a propane heater.
Yeah. He had enough little propane heaters for the whole neighborhood.
And you know what was incredible?
I was around the horses all afternoon, so I'm like, my eyes are itching, my allergies are going berserk. So y'all,
her and Goob are very. It's not Corona, y'all.
I love horses, but horses, dogs, rabbits, anything with fur, cats, I will just be hay, dirt, dust, anything. I'll just be like itching and
the pollen's going nuts here right now.
And the pollen's crazy.
But I have cherries, y'all.
I gotta jump in the shower.
Pollinate.
Goop has to do the same thing when he gets home from being with the horses. He has to jump right in the shower and wash off all the germs, because he'll be the same thing. His eyes will be all swollen up. Even after he got out of the shower this afternoon, his eyes are all swollen up. It's just like, we love him, but yeah, that's what's
cedar
going on.
pollen, cedar, oak, everything is pushing out the pollen heavy right now.
Yeah, it's like
and
yellow
I just
out there.
feel it in my throat.
Yeah. So, how long are
cedar dander?
Yeah. So we're thankful for where we are.
We're very thankful for where we are, and for times like right now, y'all. Look, this is going to pass. Within 30 days, this is going to pass. But here's the lesson. This
might be your wake-up call.
Yeah, they're going to encroach on our liberties, and they're going to push, and right before the last dude, like, loses his mind, they're going to pull back, because this is the way they always never let a good crisis go to waste.
Yep.
Left, right, does not matter, dude. They're the same.
Right.
And they hate our liberties, and they want to steal all our money. So, and that's what they're doing, okay? And great time to buy silver, y'all. JM Bullion, okay. They still have some junk silver. Place your orders now, just saying. All right. Killer buy. And if you do try to buy silver, you want to see how fake the price is, try to buy silver. And you'll learn what the real price is.
Expect a year.
I do not expect a year. I'm saying less than 3 months. Probably, it could be less than 30 days. But we'll see. Everybody wants to predict, so that's my prediction.
Yeah. I think we just, pray about it and just...
I think we're going to get this gigantic dead cat bounce. It's going to be this extended dead cat bounce. it's always a dry run. And that's what I mean. Like, you can have an event like this, it doesn't have to be created. And they're still going to take full advantage of it, y'all.
Sure, they're just gonna do a social experiment and
All
see
these
how
laws,
much they
all
can
these
do.
laws have been written
Sure.
for decades.
Right.
And then, oh, cool, we can implement that now.
Right.
You know, and then like police, Superstorm Sandy, we need to come bail us out. We need your help now.
Yeah.
All these entitled weirdos that would
Well,
the people that would sit on their porch and the boats would come by. You know that whole analogy, like I prayed that God would save me, and the fire truck came by, and the guy in the boat came by, and the guy in the helicopter came by. Nope, God said He was going to save me, and they drown, and they go to heaven,
Right.
and they say, God, I thought you were going to save me. He's like, well, I sent a fire truck, a boat, and a helicopter. Well, what do you want?
Right.
Literally.
Right.
Many of these Superstorm Sandy, it was incredible.
Right. And I think that was just our wake-up call. I mean, there were so many little wake-up calls, and we were just like, we have to get out of here. This is not a good place.
Let this be your wake-up call. And
Yeah.
look, this was me. Like, man, but the business, and that's what I would always tell her, the business is going so well. Like, it would, we got this big, stupid, gigantic house with this big, stupid, gigantic mortgage. I got this business. I got these employees. I got these trucks. I got this stuff.
Lot. Just pitch your tent towards Sodom, and there are allures of Sodom. There are, there's great financial benefits that come with Sodom. There's all kinds of things. Just pitch your tent towards it.
And the other thing to think about, I mean, could be many huge blessings in disguise. You got a Fed interest rate of 0. Okay, mortgages are going to absolutely be at a crazy all-time low, right? And people's going to be moving. It's going to be easier to sell. Texas Millennial just sold his house. His 10-day window is going to be up here in a day or two. He sold his house almost exactly what he wanted for it. And he can get a super primo mortgage for something that he wants to buy now. And he's going to knock off some of his debt. I mean, so there's blessings, look at the blessings in it too. And these guys want to monkey with all the numbers and jack up all the fundamentals and do all this stuff. Absolutely take advantage of it. Do not get in the market. And I know there's all these people that are going to say all this stuff, but dude.
Well, it's tempting right now, right?
It's super
because
tempting.
Everything's so
It's
low.
been tempting. Bitcoin was tempting. It's all tempting. I ain't doing no Bitcoin. I ain't doing no market. I'll buy gold and silver. I'll plant another 1,000 trees all day long.
He is sleepy.
He's super sleepy. He didn't take a nap.
He did not.
He is
take a
just
nap
talking
today.
up a storm, y'all.
He didn't take
Huh, boo boo?
He didn't
You
take
talk
a
a
nap
whole lot of
today.
words.
And we played outside for a long
He's so
time.
snuggy, y'all. He's snuggy.
So yeah, he's trying to say
He's a mama's boy.
everything now.
Sent you to the Arctic. I am so thankful to the Lord that He never sent me to the Arctic, because that would have been terrible.
He sends different people different places.
He sent y'all to the Arctic, and look where you are now. So how do you like them apples?
Where are they at?
That's Christine Taylor. They're like
Oh, I'm sorry.
just
I
over
missed
the
it. I
just
read
over the
comment.
hilltop.
I'm sorry. I didn't even. Yeah.
Huh? I'll do, man.
So it's pretty.
We want to encourage y'all. I
Yes,
mean,
it is. It's
and
pretty
look, I'm
encouraging.
not trying to talk you into something that you don't want to do either. And I'm not like, oh, we want to be just like them. No, it's you gotta be convinced of your own merit. You gotta know that it's the right thing for your family, but you do have to do it. And let this be a shake of the tree, a blow of the wind, the wake up call, whatever it is. That last little, that last little nudge, that little push, that straw that breaks the camel's back. Let this be it, and take advantage of he does look like the goob, that boy. He look like the goob. You like the little goob.
If he had blue eyes,
Yeah.
he would be a little blue-eyed goob. That's for sure.
But look, we'll have a couple minutes. Rufus is making us some kind of crazy awesome pizza or something, and I'm kind of pumped about that. But let's see. We'll get some questions here. I know people were making comments, and we were talking, so I didn't really get to. I should have got the iPad so that I could fling through the. How about we do this? Anybody got any questions? Put them in all caps. Post them. Repost your questions. Anybody that had any questions, we'll answer a couple questions, and then we'll get out of here.
We got some really yummy gluten-free pizza, and he made some cookies.
Is Texas Mom wearing her head covering all the time?
Yes, I'm scared of the corona. No.
Is it because you're doing chicken chores or what?
I don't know. I don't know why.
She doesn't know why.
I don't have a good answer.
She doesn't have a good answer.
I don't have
There
a
you
good
go.
answer right now.
Welcome to my life, y'all. Welcome to my life. Any other questions that we can answer? You can wait as long as you want to plant a fruit tree. To be totally honest, you can. I plant fruit trees almost year round. You just really don't want to do it when it's hard freezing. But you can plant fruit trees all through the summer.
Yeah.
So you just keep on planting. Just make sure they have water. Plant, plant, plant.
Yep.
Miss Puddin wants to come up.
He said he's buying more chicks. That's what I'm going to do. I'm like everybody else is buying toilet paper. I'm just buying more chicks.
Okay. I would have already moved my parents here. My dad is bedridden, relatively speaking. My mom's his full-time caregiver, and they didn't want to leave their house. And I already told my brother, any good sources for elderberry cuttings? You're looking at it, bro. I'm the source. So if you want your elderberry cuttings, I have a bunch cut, and I still have some that I can take, and we're still selling them. And DM me on Instagram is probably the easiest way,
Yep.
or email us at the countrytexasboys@gmail.com.
Yep, they're ready to go.
And we can still. So yeah, that's up. What's up with my parents? And I already told my brother. My brother said, "Hey, you know, if something happens to Dad, can Mom come down?" And I said, "If something happens to Dad, Mom is coming down, and we're moving her in with us, and we're gonna take care of her, and that will Lord willing, that'll absolutely happen." Lone Star. What? Okay, what was your question, Wee? How did I miss it?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Any good sources?
Hey, Texas Mom, did you watch his live? Oh yeah. So did you watch my live from last night?
Not the whole
From the
thing.
airport?
I
Not the
didn't
whole
watch
thing.
the
That's
whole
how much she
thing.
cares, y'all.
We were really busy. I'm sorry.
They were really busy. I got crazy kids getting ready to dive off into the bed.
Yeah,
We have had quails. We haven't developed a good system for quails, so yeah, I'm
You have
not.
to have a good setup for quail.
You have to
But
have
I have a really, really cool thing coming up, so be looking for it. We got a really, really cool brooder that I'm going to share with y'all, and that same company that makes the brooder also makes these really awesome quail cages. Get down,
Yes,
please.
and I'm gonna do a video on how we compost, and
Sit
I
down.
have the most ultimate, easiest compost method involving the. I was horrible to you and blamed you for never having toilet paper. Look, that's honesty is honesty. How is being honest being horrible?
I didn't have to watch the video
That
for
is
that
just
week.
totally true.
I hear
Dude,
that every day. So he said this is
It took an apocalypse to give us the amount that I feel is actually appropriate, and I actually have a roll of toilet paper in my bathroom right now as
he
we
said
speak.
this is nothing new. He lives his daily life without toilet paper every day. But all he has to do is go to the pantry and get some. Oh my soul.
We are in 8A.
We had that for a while. I'm gonna get him again. Quail, yeah.
We're getting more laying hens, and we're just gonna have chicken on the
Yeah.
hoof, chicken on the foot,
Yeah.
so that we can call them and crock pot
We have
them.
a really, really good supplier for laying hens.
Really
down
good
here.
supplier.
And we can get them for so dirt cheap that it almost doesn't even make sense to buy chicks. You would put more money into them, raising them up, than what we can just get the laying hens for. It's kind of insane. So we're gonna just really beef up our numbers with the laying hens, and the ones that are good layers we'll keep. The ones that are not good layers will end up going into our freezer as we
Yeah.
need them, or just straight to the crock pot. And
We're already past Patriot Act 2.0. I mean, with this whole quarantine stuff, and then all the different states that are just lock in step with all the curfews and stuff. I mean, it's just sad.
yeah,
Like,
there's
just let your stinking communism shine through, man.
yeah. Well, I know like
Christine wants to know if our supplier is close to us. I mean, kind of in Greenville-ish area, right?
Greenville, yeah,
Greenville.
Greenville,
So that's a straight across for y'all. I don't know how far of a drive that is.
yeah, but yeah, between $2 and $4 a lane, hun. So we kind of can't go wrong there. And if they don't lay, we just will use them as meat chickens. And we kind of got a thing going on with our farm where it's
Lone Star said, our possible future neighbor. So what's up? So did it go through, bro?
No, he said we need to.
No, we need to hook him up with our source. Did I miss
Yeah,
your
yeah.
opinion
We'll
about
hook
this
you
whole
up.
thing? I have lots of opinions. Do peach trees bloom
I
later?
think it's so early on to have like I mean obviously we have opinions on like what's being done and these like huge sweeping like every time they open their mouth it's like
And
what
it's
does that
silly.
mean? What did you even say? Like you know, obviously things need to get done, things need to be in place. We need to be
They delayed their
prepared.
closing. So what does that mean? That means you are going to have a closing? Oh, okay, cool. Sweet. Yeah, keep me posted, man. Let me know if you need me to recon anything. Okay, there's a bunch of peach talk on here. Look, I have a minimum of 10 to 12 to maybe 15 variety of peaches. Here's the thing. I have June fire, July whatever, August whatever, and you can get a peach that'll blossom and fruit in almost every summer month. So yeah, there's 8 billion different varieties of peaches. So just get if you're okay. Our stuff like the cherries. My cherries are low chill. Okay, and make sure you have your cross pollinators. So same thing. Yeah, Rio Grande.
Huh.
I bet you I have a Rio Grande out there. I have lots.
He's got the
Our schools up here are only closed to the end of the month. The schools, many of the schools up in the Northeast are closed to the end of April. There you go. Everybody just became a homeschool overnight. Just like that. Click. Dude, how epic. Yo, how jacked up is that when...
But the president said, all children, if at all possible, should do their schooling at home. So, really, I would say...
I have many apricot trees, y'all, and I want an apricot.
Like, if I had children in school, I wouldn't...
Moonglow apricots.
I wouldn't wait for the school to close up. I would just say, look, the president said that he'd rather them be home. I'm just keeping them home.
How epic. Yo, way to destroy the propaganda lack of concentration camps, you
It's
know.
just like-
You send everybody home and they're like, oh, we can do this at home and it'll only take 2 hours and we'll be smarter and we'll still get to play with all our
and
friends.
they can do all their stuff online anyway.
Yeah,
So it
and
doesn't even
they'll
matter.
still do all this.
It's so
even
obsolete.
the cul-de-sac kids.
It's so
dude.
obsolete. Going to some building, I mean, it's almost like, you know, the library, y'all. I mean,
Hey, y'all. No trolls. I know my wife is pretty. I don't think Ivy Acres was saying anything inappropriate, but were they? I don't think so. Was that an accidental?
Did you?
I know Jay Jenkins was being ornery. I didn't block anybody, I don't think. Maybe I did. I hope I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. Marilla School in Kansas. Whoa! Kansas school was canceled for the year, dude. Dude, that's nuts, bro.
Hey,
That's stinking.
Is it true that Sacramento, I heard that Sacramento, California, there's like 7 million people that the whole city is on lockdown. The whole city, homebound. Is that true?
I know that Teaneck, New Jersey, they are, and they're not allowed outside their house.
Right, 40,000 people in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Yep,
all
that's nuts.
Homebound, like, and 3 weeks. Sacramento, as I understand it, is 3 weeks.
So as
and
far as
Teaneck.
martial law, in a loose, light way, this is martial law. Curfews, you know, we're going to send out the whole thing about laws and restrictions, somebody's got to enforce it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm just trying to follow. I know Puerto Rico, that was like several days ago.
Yeah, San Fran. Oh, dude, you know California's going to overreact to this thing.
Yeah.
All the schools in Chicago. Whoa,
Are
okay.
being shut down, yeah. 3 weeks. Yeah, I think they're just doing like a trial run, is what I understand, like for just to see how long it gets. Everybody gets to shelter in place. in
Dave
New York
Hodges,
City.
that is.
Yeah, so that's the thing is like they're like, don't freak out over the food, don't freak out over the food.
Yo,
Stop
how
buying
nuts
food.
is that?
But then if
Yeah,
you're stuck
shelter
in
in
a
place, and
house
you're in the
for 3
concrete
weeks,
jungle. You're in a synthetic infrastructure that you couldn't. You're barely eking out an
but you
existence.
need food.
Not only
because
that, check this
you're
out.
there
Yo,
for 3
not
weeks.
only that, the best thing for the virus is sunshine. And they did. Yo, so they cut everybody off from the beaches in Florida, and they said you can't go to the beach. And there's all these people revolting right now and going to the beach, and
Oh,
they're
wow.
like, stick
Did you
it.
see this? The teachers are doing all of their training to do the whole school system online next week.
Yeah, well, what about these big, gigantic, idiot prison systems that they built with all this over structured infrastructure, all these stupid buildings and these $50 million bonds of these dumb buildings, and we're
Yeah.
gonna be stuck with these dumb things.
They'll use them as
Yeah, as a meat locker or something.
hospitals, probably hospitals. Why not? They can grow their own food. Well, it takes time to grow your own food.
Yes,
and it's
it
a
does.
big learning curve on growing your own food. So,
Yep, and that's
you know,
why I planted fruit trees.
and there's some things you can't grow, like rice and coffee and oats. I mean, I guess you could.
This
grow
thing may
oats,
or may not mutate, but I'm telling you, you know, this sky is falling stuff. It's just not going to happen this time around. It's hockey sticking and it's already leveling off. And I mean, it's just not. You know, it's silly to go. Now look, if you're ready to bunker and hunker and do all that stuff, go. I'm not saying don't do it, but like.
yeah, no eggs, milk. Yeah, that's how it is down here.
But
too.
I mean, if you want to know the general consensus, this whole toilet paper shortage is literally a microcosm of the general, like the majority of people, for whatever reason, are nuts. They don't even know they're crazy. But okay, you're buying toilet paper.
Well, you need toilet paper.
You
do need
you
toilet
need
paper.
you need toilet paper. Look, speaking from a guy that
We only have 5
look,
cases
look,
of toilet
y'all.
paper. So
Look,
in
y'all.
a couple weeks, if
For a
we
guy-
still can't find toilet
okay.
paper, he's gonna be singing a different tune.
I
because
I'm
we still haven't
I'm
been able to
living
find-
proof that you don't need toilet paper because I usually don't have it, and I don't walk around like the stinky fly boy with flies buzzing around my head like the dude off of not Linus, but who was the stinky dirty kid? Who was the stinky dirty kid on Peanuts?
Annie McElroy only has 3 rolls. 3 packages?
Yeah,
or
but you
3
got some
rolls?
killer soap and some good washcloths. And if there are any left on Amazon, I am going to buy a bidet, y'all. Yo, the
Stop.
rest of the world knows what's up. A bidet.
Stop.
Bidet, y'all. Bidet. And I'm not going to, and another thing, everybody's buying bottled water. Guess what? What?
Family clause. Yep.
What? Water? Nuts, dude. Pig pen. That's it. Pig pen.
Older man was followed home. Whoa, whoa. That's sad. That's so sad.
Amazon, because I heard yesterday that USPS, UPS, and FedEx are all going to still be shipping.
I hope not, because I got some stuff coming on Amazon. Tractor Supply, sprayer there.
Oh, the bidet. You go, Wee Tree. No, I'm getting a
The
legit one, man.
homestead.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to be
Homestead
high.
bidet. It's almost warm enough outside.
You're exactly right. That's what I said about Trump. Dude, if Hillary or Obama tried to do any of this junk, dude, we would already be locked and loaded in the streets, marching 3%ers. Yeah. It's kind of a joke, y'all. Yeah, okay. I mentioned this on my last live stream. I don't care your political orientation.
There's fights at the grocery store.
But check it
and I
out.
said, ooh.
Yeah. In Michigan, like major SWAT people like knocking each other out over toilet paper, y'all. Toilet paper. If this is this a commentary on society?
It's not
Commentary
bad yet. This is
on
the
society.
thing.
This
It's
is
not bad.
nothing.
This is nothing. People can still
That's what I mean.
drive around.
Yo, check this out. It doesn't have to mutate 3
You still
times. It
have
doesn't even have to
gasoline.
last long.
We still have electricity, gasoline. You can still drive around. Like, this is not a big deal yet.
No king but Jesus is right. And if Christians would just get off the whole dominionism, stupid junk, and trying to bring in the kingdom and just let Jesus do it when he's ready, and like remember what it actually says in the Constitution and shall not be infringed and we the people and all that good stuff. There are so many constitutionalists, they wouldn't know what the Constitution was if it punched them in the face.
Yeah.
Diarrhea is not a symptom. Exactly, dude. What? Do what? Toilet paper. She is Buddhist. Eu sou pura. As the most Buddhist aqui.
Hi, Danny. Hi, Annie.
Annie.
We had fun today, huh? Did we go spend
Barry, are you still in North Carolina, dude? Yo, man, don't get locked in anywhere, bro. Just saying. Get locked in
Right
Texas,
on, brother.
dude.
Everybody likes it because you're getting all rowdy now.
I'm getting my rowdiness back.
We had a good time today, huh? The rich.
You had a good time, baby girl?
Yeah.
You done it, Tom.
I know. I had to work, baby girl. Pressure canner. Nice. Like it. Yeah, can your food.
Yeah.
I'm super pumped about it. We're going to get legitimate fruit. And what I would like to do, if there is any excess... Yeah, all the QAnon stuff is super dumb. Okay. Oh, rabbit trail. Just remember what I was talking about. If you do want to have any kind of political discussion with anybody, left, right, conservative, liberal, libertarian, say, look, we can all agree on this. And the Fed, period. I don't care if you're a stinking communist, and a communist and a crackhead liberal should love to end the Fed, right? A conservative should absolutely love to end the Fed. I mean, the Republic has been gone since Abe Lincoln, y'all. So to pretend that we're going to make America great again, if you're going to go pre-Lincoln and destroy the more perfect union, all right, that's the only way it's going to happen. You know, so...
She's checking for whiskers. She said, look, Mom, it's
Go,
growing.
go, you go.
She thinks she's growing whiskers.
We may be doing a container edition.
That would be really awesome.
Hey, Praise and Faith. We're not going to do a root cellar yet. We might. You know, the problem is here is because of humidity and moisture, basements are kind of problematic. And so root cellars can be kind of problematic. Doesn't mean it's not possible and there's ways around it, but...
That's pretty cool. Offering to babysit? What is that? Something about Amish?
Q is bogus and all their deep state nonsense. Stop it. Come on. Come on, you believe that goofy nonsense? You don't believe that. Come on, man. That's like comic book conservatism. Tell me you don't believe in QAnon and that's not just like comic book. Why? That's terrible. Q is terrible. Q is like this crazy false hope that we're going to kill the deep state and drain the swamp and expose all the pedophiles. Won't happen. Won't happen. It just won't. Is it happening? No. No. Epstein didn't kill himself. Epstein probably isn't dead. All right? Just saying. He probably isn't even dead. Let alone didn't he kill himself. And Hillary did not kill Epstein either. I'm telling you, the guy's probably not dead. You don't last as long as that guy and have all the dirt on everybody in the world and get snuffed out.
Yeah, it's a test.
Total test run. This is a test run. And like I said, it might not even be a fabricated test run, but hey,
Right.
take advantage of it. It's here.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing with the killing babies thing. Okay? They say they're not going to fund Planned Parenthood, and the Republicans fund Planned Parenthood with every other boondoggle and every other omnibus garbage, 22 supposed $100 trillion in debt. $100 trillion in debt. The Fed just pumped in another $2 trillion. We will TARP and bail out the banks again, and now the conservatives are going to send us all $1,000. We might as well be doing basic universal
They're
income.
going to be bailing out everything.
Yeah, they're going to
soon.
bail out everything. And they just act like there's no consequences to bailing out everything. It's like stupid.
Daddy, I have the other pounds.
Oh, the finance got you,
She
Gail.
had one. She flipped it off too.
Exactly. No, that's what I said. The conservatives always steal. Bush got the Patriot Act that the Clintons wrote. Bush got it passed. That's always, historically, that's always how it works. The quote unquote conservatives are the worst tyrants and the worst destroyers of. Dude, stinking Hitler was a conservative. And Hitler was a crony capitalist. Capitalism.
She said it's good mental stimulation.
Definitely mental gymnastics. Yes, lots of mental gymnastics. All the corporates, dude. All these corporates are in bed with the Guberman, which is why they've already killed capitalism. All these guys, look, Bezos and all these guys and Tesla, they all in bed with the government. Tesla, the only reason they made money is like an $8 billion. Why are these conservative? Dude, I'm just saying, dude, it's fake. Corporate America, it's capitalism. It's crony capitalism. Just like the Republic hasn't existed since the Civil War, capitalism hasn't existed since all the way back, dude. Carnegie, Rockefeller, Jekyll Island, all the Jekyll Island dudes were the business magnates. Don't watch that retarded crap on the Discovery Channel or How We Did This American Thing or whatever. Revisionist garbage history. How we made America. All those cats and all those revisionist stories about Andrew Carnegie and Morgan and Mellon and all those guys are the man. Yeah, use rags, for real. The Koch and Soros, the arch nemesis, the Darth Lord and the Obi-Wan Kenobi teamed up and made a civil action group and pumped billions of dollars into it. You can't make this fake stuff up. George Evil Soros, the liberal vice of everything that ever happened wrong in the whole entire world, and then the Koch brothers, and they literally team up and make a non-profit. Come on, man, you can't. And people are just like, oh yeah, no, come on, wake the stink up and plant a fruit tree. Yeah. Geese and swan necks for toilet paper. Yeah, nah, I'm good. I'll just use a wet rag with some nice soap. Maybe a bidet. Maybe one of these toilet seat bidets.
Should have got a diaper.
I'm not even gonna run like hot water to it, man. I'm just gonna. I was having a discussion at work about the whole bidet thing, and the Europeans are like totally right on this. I'm just saying, and it just makes sense. Just makes sense, y'all. Who's with me on the bidet thing? Come on, back me up. Hit me. If you like the bidet idea, hit the thumbs up.
I don't think I like it with 6 children.
What do you mean it's going to be on my toilet, y'all, where we don't have any toilet paper anyway?
Where you have children.
What kind of fruit
in
tree?
and out of your-
Any kind of fruit tree. I'm partial to the whole fig deal, but garden sprayer. I'm telling you, the bidet is
He's
the
been
truth.
bragging on
The bidet is the truth.
I know. I was like, why didn't I get the diaper washer thing? You know they have those things that hook onto your toilet. Do you know about this? When you rinse the diapers off, it's the same thing.
It's like a bidet.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's the same.
Bidet.
There's always so many ways to
Yo,
wash
dude,
yourself off.
fight the toilet paper revolution. Bidet. Yo, talk about prepper. Bidet, dude. The toilet paper crisis of 2020 gone. You wouldn't even worry.
That's what I said. I'm like remembering all my prepper days now, like all the reusable things. Like I'm like, we should just go back to like
Warm the bum, dude. I am down. Let's do this. Yo, paper plates, y'all. Paper plates. How does that make any sense? There's like still real food there, and they're buying paper plates. And all the like plastic forks and spoons gone. Nuts, people have lost their mind. Like, oh, I won't be able to use my dishwasher. Oh, what do you mean? Or I won't be able to wash stuff in my sink. So I need disposable. No, man, there's nothing more masculine than cleanliness. All right, I'm just saying. There's nothing homo about a stinking bidet.
Was she saying it was homo?
She's saying hand over your man card because I want a bidet. Get out of here. I can't think of anything more masculine than a very cold stream of water. All right?
Hand them over.
Exactly, dude. And I'm not talking about getting all crazy Japanese, like with the crazy, like automated toilet. Just a straight up throttle, you know, just a knob. Maybe what I'll do is I'll replace the knob with like a gas pedal. You're like, "Rrr," and I'll like put like a 6-speed on it or something. Oh, you mean just drag the posterior across the front lawn? That's a viable option, especially if you live in the country.
Get that cold. It'll be hot water coming out of
The
thing in
tap water gets
summertime.
cold.
The tap water gets hot in the summer.
The
You gotta
man
wait for
uses
it
the
to turn
pressure
cold.
dragging thing.
You gotta wait for
The sewing machine pedal. Goob, when he was little, cut the sewing machine pedal off Texas Mom's sewing machine. So I had to wire nut it back on. He cut the cord on everything.
everything.
Thankfully, we haven't had another Goob. Because we literally probably wouldn't own anything that's worth of any value. Dude, that kid. He destroyed my office. Oh my goodness, that kid. That kid was a wild man. He's made up for it, though. Dude, Texas Mom. I think I shared this in my life. She probably didn't watch it. But when she goes to indulge in toilet paper, and I use the word indulge, like, I'm like, okay, are you, like, going to share that with somebody? Like, what is the purpose of the... Yo, check this out.
That's what I
1,
do.
2, 3, 4, 5. And I think it's like one of these OCD thing. 1, 2, 3. When can I stop? I got to count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got the fluffy stuff, y'all. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm good. And I'm like, yeah? I'm like, so are you hoarding some of that? Are you going to hide some of that somewhere?
The other day, since it's happened, I was like winding up toilet paper, and then I literally looked at it and I was like, oh.
This pandemic is making all my dreams come true. See, you all are worried about this. Look, you all are worried about this.
My toilet paper.
Listen, yo, you all are worried about this. This is literally, okay, I make my suggestions, right? And it goes largely unheard, okay? Which is why I always feel this need to vent to the camera, okay? But now, this pandemic that y'all are worried about is like I'm living in a dream world. Just saying.
Oh,
and I might even get a bidet out of the deal.
Oh my word. See, y'all need some good entertainment.
Way too much, y'all. Way too much toilet paper. 5 square limit. Christine, how do I impose a 5 square limit on Texas Mom? I'll do a review. Yeah, watch me use the bidet. Yeah, that would be great. We'd get lots of views. High flyer. It does feel, it's super surreal, y'all. And you gotta laugh. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to.
This is good. It's good.
It's a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. Moms don't count. Yeah, tell me about it.
That's right.
Whew.
That's right.
Man.
I was unwinding. I was like, oh, I better not. I only got 5 packs of toilet paper. Okay, and my good friend at the Joyful Life,
She had to, the Lord had to send a pandemic to make this woman heed the behest of her husband.
Oh my soul. I should have done the family cloth. I was real big into the family cloth thing. I was like seriously looking into it. It's not gonna matter. I might not be like
What's this, like the Toilet Paper Coalition or something?
My mom's gotta stick together.
Emma makes a very good point. You know, these test runs aren't just telling the powers that shouldn't be how this whole thing,
Right.
Texas millennial. They're not just telling the powers that shouldn't be like how nuts and insane and controllable people are, but they're also telling us, and this is why we're saying, you know, let this be your wake up call, right? And you know, wake up.
Right. It's just a good.
And let it be the
evaluation.
nudge. Let it be that last thing that, you know,
maybe you're in the right place.
just gives you the catapult. Or maybe you're like, man, when should I do it? Boom.
Yeah.
Let's do this, little brother. I want to do a toilet paper collab with somebody. How to conserve toilet paper.
Oh my soul.
Richie's looking for some dirt, y'all. He's gonna move next door to Yo, you got to get with Lone Star Living because Lone Star Living's getting ready to close. Texas
that
Millennial.
is like that's just the trend. I think people that are, you know, they've already seen things. You know, they're just realizing what's important in life and where they need to be.
And you can't look when you feel the pull and the call. You got to at least consider it. You know what I mean? We do not have goats. We've had goats many times. Lord willing, we will never have goats again. But if you love goats, they're great.
I don't think we'll do dairy again. I think we're probably going to go venture off into
Meat cows.
and beef. We have a really, really awesome raw milk dairy that's literally
Super awesome.
20 minutes away from us, and
we have another one that's like 30 minutes away.
Yeah, so we have raw dairies around, and it's really, it would be nice to just
Yo, Justin Rhodes, he calls them the devil. Dude, those things are evils. And hey, y'all, the mask thing, I'm telling you, dude, it doesn't work. I see all these people around the airport with the mask thing.
But what were you doing? You were doing essential oils, right?
Yes, I did the. See, this is why if you're a man, you need a beard, right? So I did the immune deal, and it was all the organic stuff, and it was a real little, and there was no carrier oils in it, and the whole entire time I'm just like.
Was it like an On Guard thing?
It was kind of like an On Guard formula, but you know it was the clove and the frankincense and all the good stuff.
And you're just rubbing it on your nose.
And I did it again today.
And then he burnt his nose. He had to get a shower last night.
Yo, Richie just got here talking about the bidet, y'all. We were talking about the bidet today. Today was a good day. I'm gonna buy a bidet. All right.
I thought you were gonna say I didn't have to use.
I didn't have to use my AK. Yo, check out Texas
No,
Mom.
your bidet.
No, I didn't have to use my bidet because we got some TP, T-Pay, the new currency.
Oh
Word.
my soul. So I was just using that oil, like you just rub it on your nose, right? And then
You just need a bra for face. I'm waiting, dude. You should have seen some nutty contraptions. People are crazy.
Aww. But there are some older people.
Kilda Gardner knows what's up, dude. That's why you need the. Oh man, you put these.
The older people, you have to give them dibs for, like, there was some older ladies out and they were wearing like garden gloves and stuff. Like,
Yeah, that's smart to wear gloves.
For them. It's a serious.
That's super.
concern
Yeah,
for
and if you're
them.
older,
yeah,
dude, if I was older and had issues, I'd wear stinking mask, gloves. I'd wear a stinking murder
you
suit,
don't want to
dude.
get sick.
I'd wear a
You don't wanna
DuPont
get
murder suit.
Yeah.
With a stinking like. The big respirator, man. It looked like I was jumping right into a
Well,
forest fire.
just like your mom. I mean, she gets,
I
she gets
know,
pneumonia every year.
Man.
You know, I mean, I wouldn't be messing around with it. People die of pneumonia when you're, you know, older and you're sick, you know?
Yeah, my mom's just not thinking straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my. So yeah, look to be a blessing to people, y'all. Just look at some videos to laugh at. Enjoy your families and
plan something. Plan on planting something. Plant your food 401k, y'all.
if you run out of toilet paper, just cut up an old t-shirt or something. You'll get by.
Yeah, or get a bidet,
You
y'all.
can do it. Use a goose. What did they say? They said a
Gooseneck.
A goose.
Use a gooseneck. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
That sounds a little messy.
I mean, it would feel good, but
Oh my
probably.
soul.
Well, if it had the feathers on it, I wouldn't use
No.
a old gooseneck like you'd put in the stew pot.
I think we'll just buy you a bidet.
A bidet.
Or
Richie-
a diaper washer. I want a diaper washer
Look,
anyway.
Richie is a world traveler, right? And so he's very up on the bidets. So I'm gonna maybe comes. What was that? Good times.
Corona fever. Cabin fever. Oh no. We might have a little corona fever going on here soon if
Bring it. I've been waiting.
We'll
I got so
see.
much stuff to
We'll
do.
see.
That's the great thing about it. I mean, look at the bright side of it. I mean, it's seriously.
Yeah. We used to get snowed in all the time. So
Exactly. And there's nothing to do when you're snowed in. I don't get people that like the cold deal because there's nothing. I mean, you can pretend like you're doing something and you're being productive, but if you don't have some kind of podcast and you can like pre-record like 40, like half the year or whatever, dude, forget about it. Forget about it. All right? I'm just
You
saying.
can shovel snow.
Yeah, shovel snow and have a heart attack. You know how many people have
See,
heart
we
attacks shoveling
haven't-
snow?
Maybe that's our problem. We haven't been.
I'll shovel mulch
We haven't
all day
been
long.
sheltered in for a long time.
I'll shovel mulch. And the great thing is like, okay,
You're
don't
almost
leave the
out
fence
of-
line.
You're almost out of mulch.
I know. I need more mulch. Did I miss
Oh,
anybody?
my soul.
I don't want to
Let's
miss.
go.
I don't. Did Wee Tree have any questions? I don't want to miss Wee Tree.
Let's.
All right,
the history of toilet paper. What? What? 19 minutes. Yeah, we gotta watch the history of toilet paper. Oh my soul. It is funny, y'all. It's funny.
Kilded likes his Corona with the virus. All right, y'all. Well, we got to eat dinner. Rufus made us some kind of crazy awesome pizza.
Gluten free.
Wee Tree, don't you call me Wee Tree. I'm on the phone right now, literally. Yeah. All right, y'all. Hope y'all have a blessed night. And
We'll try to get on here again because I feel like there's probably people like us that you might not be like.
And people are stuck inside.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to laugh, y'all.
It is a good time to laugh and hang out. It's good.
And yeah, we'll get back on here, and we got to get Goob a hard drive, and so he can start re-editing. Thanks to our mods. Thank you, Weetree, KG, my bro with the beard, Emma Appleberry from Australia, Richie, Christine Taylor, our Patreon, Lovers in Lodge, Jasmine. Where you been, Jasmine? Lena K, Lennar, Hunter Kidwell. What's up, Hunter?
They're the only safe place in
It's
America.
West Virginia. Yeah. Still no cases, Hunter? How's
We're just all gonna move to West Virginia. Never mind everything we just said. We're
Yo,
all
you need
moving
your
to West-
elderberry cuttings. Hit up the Texas boys. Got your elderberry cuttings. You plant them now, you'll be set for next year. Just saying, y'all. Just saying. We bid y'all adieu. We got to go eat some food.
Good night, y'all.
Good night. See you on the next video.
See you. Bye.
Bye.